Hey, this is Johnny Young Bosch, and you're watching Airlim.
I wanted to make this video because I feel like there is a lot of negativity around Power Rangers Cosmic Fury at the moment. And I kind of wanted to make a video like combining all the topics that I'm going to talk about, because I could easily make 4 or 5 videos all on this, but I feel like if I have everything condensed and kind of talked about, then I will. And I apologize for rambling. Marketing Power Rangers, it's nothing new that it's been really bad, but I think it's been bad for quite a long time and it's only getting worse. Now, kind of thinking about this right now, I generally think that maybe if Power Rangers is coming to an end from at the end of Cosmic Fury, then this is all like the last day at your job, like the last week or something, where literally no one's going to talk about it and you don't give a shit about it. And that's how I kind of see this now, thinking about it. Now, I feel like all of this has just dropped off. The main thing that I've always understood about marketing when it comes to anything from product, from show, from movie, is that the more that you talk about it, the more you get really hyped for it. You know, you're not going to do it like a day before like a homework assignment that you've got to get like in. You have to kind of get people talking about it, because again, you're not just advertising this to the fandom that you're in, because we all know Cosmic Fury is coming. We all follow the actors, or the actors that we want. We all talk about stuff on Twitter. We still talk about it on Facebook. There is so much you can do. So we know that Cosmic Fury is coming. We know that a new toy is coming. But for people who don't know about it, like, could you imagine if they dropped a trailer on, like, say, Netflix, on YouTube, or they put it on TV and was like, the Power Rangers are coming to an end in their epic 30th season. And then you get people going, shit, 30 years it's been on. And then you get the people that aren't into it watching it and wanting more about it. And that brings them in, and you're doing the marketing because you're putting it in there saying the last season. Or, you know, could this be the last season? Whichever way that you want to spin it. We don't know if it's going to be last season. I know what people are going to say in the comments. Same thing is that when it comes with the toys. Now, mainly you have access to pretty much social media. A lot of people are on Twitter. A lot of people are on Facebook. A lot of people are on YouTube. Loads of places where you can spread the message. So can you imagine that you have these press photos, and they take press photos of all their products and stuff like that months before they come out, and then they send it off to outlets to talk about. But you have the chance where you can schedule tweets. I could schedule a tweet at any time and put information in there. You have companies. At times, I get emails from Hasbro's UK marketing team. I haven't heard from them for a while, but they will send me information. They'll send me the pictures, the press photos, the information. Now, I could put out a tweet right now and say, here is the Zenith Rangers role-playing kit, which I have done on my Twitter. And I could just turn around and say, here is the Zenith role-playing thing, more information to come soon. But people will just look at that image and go, that's what I want. That's what I want to see. Because 9 out of 10 times, they probably don't want to read half the stuff. They just want to see the image of the toy. And again, the marketing team for Hasbro could do this. The Gold Ranger from Dino Fury, he had a huge TikTok following. Get some stuff, but it felt like they couldn't do anything, and they locked all of that down until much later on. But you build up that hype because he has probably thousands and thousands of followers. And again, so do all the other cast and crew. Get them to talk about it, market it properly. Just makes more sense, like an image and stuff. Like, that's all. Remember Russell when he got that box of Dino Fury stuff? Marketing right there. Doesn't have to be sometimes solid as a rock, but at least it works. It just feels like they didn't kind of market it a lot, and it just felt really bad for it. Let's talk about Cosmic Fury. Again, this links in a little bit to the marketing that I've just been talking about. Is the fact is that no one knows when it's coming out. We've only had like, oh, it's coming out in the fall, but whereabouts in the fall? And again, like, if they don't know the exact date because everything's not finished, they don't want to miss the deadlines. Absolutely fine. But at least a small trailer right now to get people talking about it. Like, I know it's like months off from the time of this recording. I know it's months off, but again, you could get people hyped up, share a few like stills and stuff like that, and people like that sort of thing. I want to talk about the negativity around this right now. The only thing I can see is the fact is that we've had some cell phone footage, we've had some kind of images shown, but we've not seen the suits lit properly. You know, behind the scenes stuff is absolutely fine, but I just don't get where this negativity comes. Like, it happens every single year. Samurai gets announced, it's going to be shit. Megaforce gets announced, it's gonna be shit. Dino Charge comes out, it's gonna be shit. And it just feels like this is a rolling thing that happens. I don't know if this is a tradition now, but every single time that I just see it, I go, it's not out yet. It's not out yet. Like, to me, why? Like, I never get negativity. And it's when you see people on Twitter and it's just like, well, I've not seen anything of Cosmic Fury, so I'm going to hate it. What are you hating on? Like, generally, why? It doesn't make sense. I just sometimes think the fandom just really goes ham on it because they think it's gonna get them likes and attention, and majority of the time people just ignore the hate. Like, it just generally kind of gets me. But why would you just hate it because of the suits? Like, you see it in Sentai. Like, I wasn't a fan of like Zenkaija for a while, and I enjoyed it. I actually liked the suits. I think it's one of the nicest ones. But then when they went to Dom Brothers, like, again, some people hated on the suits. King Oja, and now I don't like the suits in King Oja. I haven't watched enough, but I'm not going to go off and say this is shit when I've been kind of impressed with some clips that I've seen online. So I just don't know why around Cosmic Fury it's just this negative thing around the suits. Like, we don't know what it is. Like, do you have a cinema like camera in your house? Do you edit that footage? Those cameras that they have on Netflix and they have on, like, say on the set of Power Rangers are going to be 10 times better than anything that we can go to the store and buy, not unless you're about to drop some serious money on it. So I don't know why we're going off this whole negativity when we haven't seen anything. Now, what's kind of interesting is this will link into my next topic, but I'm going to talk about it here briefly. Simon turned around and said, I thought about criticism of projects on social media. I'd encourage people to wait until they see the actual show before condemning the season unseen. Elements like props, costumes, etc. only make sense in the context of the show where they are lit properly and used as intended. So yeah, like, it's just this whole thing that we instantly turn around and we say this is shit. Now, I'm not a big fan of the Cosmic Fury suits from what I've seen, but again, I want to see how it looks like on the show. I want to see what it looks like in action. I want to see the morph sequence. I want to see the props and the weapons. I want to see this. So I'm going to be watching Cosmic Fury because that's where it is. I will be off Twitter when that day drops because I know what people are like. But yeah, I just don't understand what it is when it comes to this hate because we've not seen anything. If you watch the show and then you hate the suits, can be all for that. Be like, yeah, okay, I understand that because of your opinion. But when your opinion at the moment is, I hate it because of the suits, I'm a bit kind of like, well, I'm not going to take it valid straight away. I will listen to your opinion, but I want to see how it works on the show so I can take your opinion and go, okay, that's very, very valid criticism that you've given. Compared to, were you just trolling because you wanted some people from the cast and crew to like your stuff? The fandom to me is a very interesting one. I love the fandom. Like, I like how people interact. I like thought processes. I like seeing people's different opinions. I think the only thing that I don't particularly like is the massive negativity on anything. Even though I've just talked about this, I feel like sometimes the fandom gets completely out of control. Like, they will go out of their way to get a little bit of information. They'll go out their way to kind of try and own people if you have a different opinion than themselves. I've seen people talk about how they got bored of how Power Rangers has been all the way through. They want something a little bit different, but then as soon as they get that different, they absolutely hate it, and then they want to run back to what it used to be. They want to run back to the Mighty Morphing era. They want to run back to the Time Force era. There's so much stuff around that particular thing that just really kind of like irks me. Like, you want change, but then you don't want change. You got your change, but you're not happy it's in the same like light that you want. It to me just doesn't make sense.
I don't like change.
So I replied to Simon's tweet, which I read before, and I said, some of the fandom is scared of change. They want it to be like the last 30 years, so when something new comes along that isn't Sentai inspired, they freak out. And I think that's 100% true. Some people don't like change. Like, the show isn't going to appeal to everyone, guarantee that. Like, there are some things that I would like to see in the series, but I know it's never going to happen, so I enjoy what comes out. And I'll talk about this, I'll make videos about it, and I'll talk about as much as I can. I feel like some of the fandom just wants to go on this attack, that they want to kind of get the gotcha moment on certain people so that they can be like, see, I told you it wasn't the same. I generally really don't like it. And if you like this, then you can whatever. Like, we just get this all the time. And this is every single year. It's if it doesn't meet their criteria or their expectations. I mean, hell, look at Samurai. Like, everyone said that they wanted it to be like they wanted Power Rangers to be exactly like the Sentai. And then when Samurai was pretty much a carbon copy of that said thing, some people absolutely hated it. So I feel like sometimes the fandom doesn't know what they want. And then even if they voice their opinions and they get what they want, then they don't like it. And then like, oh, I want it back like the old days. It's just, sometimes it's really mind-boggling for me. Waiting for the show is one of the most things that we need right now, only because if it's rushed, it's gonna look shit and people are gonna complain about it. So why don't we just wait? Like, obviously they're taking their time. If this is gonna be the last hurrah, the last thing that Power Rangers is gonna be, I would want it to go out on a banging note, not just a shit note where it's like, I always feel like the fandom want the next thing. Cosmic Fury's coming out. Well, okay, what's the next 3 seasons ahead? That's what I want to know. And then when they go, it's like, okay, well, I want to know what the next 10 seasons are going to be. Like, you tell me, like, I want this character back, I want that character back. But I feel like we don't wait. I feel like we're always on the next thing. It's kind of interesting. One of my friends posted, like, hey, do you guys know if the next Sentai's coming out? What's going to happen? And it's like, you've just started King Oja. Why do we need to know the next one? Because I find out that if you know what the next one, let's say Cosmic Fury Season 3 is that they adapt Q Ranger or they do a Lupin Ranger versus Pat Ranger. I know that they're not going to do it. We know that. Don't jump in the comments telling me it otherwise. But I feel like, Cosmic Fury is just about to come out. Boom, let's jump straight into that season. All right, I don't want to watch that. I need to know about the next one. When's the next one out? It just gets repetitive and a little bit boring. So we need to wait for the show. It's out in a couple of months by the time of this recording. We're all going to see it at the same time. It's going to be interesting. So I don't know why we have to jump to the next one or the next one, because people want it, so they keep it rolling. Yeah, it has interest, but I kind of want to focus on what comes out. I want to enjoy that. So we've got to wait for the show. Let's just wait. So wrapping up this video, I wanted to talk about the final piece and what I kind of think about it. Now, Power Rangers seems to be dying off. Maybe Hasbro haven't seen the investment that they want coming back. Maybe the toy sales aren't doing as great. That can all lead into the quality control. Notice how there's more Lightning Collection figures than mainline stuff. And again, I know that the mainline stuff only comes out every so often. But kind of thinking about it, you'd think you would want to promote your product. Now, a lot of people are going to turn around and say, hey, Power Rangers is dying. And, at the very beginning, we had a lot of stuff. We had a lot of Fan First Fridays. We had a lot of people talk about it. We had more interaction with a lot of stuff from Hasbro Direct. And now we get absolutely nothing. There's no Fan First Fridays. I mean, they haven't done it for a while, but, when they said, oh, here's a Fan First Friday, they piggybacked it off the Transformers one. Here is, like, say, 1 hour and 12 minutes. 12 minutes being allocated to Power Rangers, and we got nothing. I don't see Hasbro killing off the franchise, but I see them scaling it back. And we have to remember one thing. Hasbro want to make money. If they're not making money, then that whole thing isn't going to do really, really well. Now, when I was watching Dawson Rider's videos, he mentioned about contracts that were in place. They've coming to an end. We've seen it as in, like, you know, Saban wasn't involved with the TV production side anymore. You know, he was there in the background saying, do this, do that. And obviously now he's not. Same thing again with Nickelodeon, etc., etc. I'm not going to go too much into detail on that one. But what I feel at the moment is I feel like they're not seeing the return of what they paid for, because obviously, you know, Power Rangers is such a niche thing at the moment where, you know, not many people are into it, and I think that they're seeing it now. Yeah, it's great to have it as a kids brand. It's good to have like lots of toys coming in, but the only thing that I see them doing at the moment is concentrating on the Lightning Collection, because that makes them more money. Everyone's going to buy the complete set. Everyone's going to buy the Rangers that they want to complete a team. Some people will buy everything, some people won't buy anything. Or some people will buy a select amount. Me personally, I'm collecting the entire Lightning Collection figure range, but now I'm getting bored of that because of the quality control issues. I'm not going to go into that. We all know how I feel about it. Now, when it comes to the promotion of the show, you want people talking about it. You want people to enjoy it. You want people to be talking about it at work, you know, at school, at wherever. You want people talking about it. But I just feel like it's slowly dropping. The fact is that, you know, if tomorrow, if it all ended, they wouldn't care. They would just bring out the Lightning Collection. They may just concentrate on Lightning Collection and that's it. I think in closing, the show needs more promotion to get it out there. They still think of this as an emerging brand. An emerging brand to me is something like it's been around a year or two. Power Rangers has been around for 30 years. It's no longer an emerging brand. But yeah, Hasbro won't take their time into it. And yet again, they laid off a lot of their staff for Power Rangers. So it kind of makes me think that they're not killing it or they're not trying to get rid of it. I just think that they're pushing it back until they can figure out. But yet again, before you buy a brand, at least you would have had some sort of plan all the way through. So I'm going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments because I really want to know what you think about it. I'm going to leave it there. Check out all the channel memberships if you want. If not, that's absolutely cool, but I will catch you in the next video. I want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, and I wanted to shout out Kimono Cat. Your help does go a long way to support the channel, and if you want to consider helping the channel, then links to my Patreon as well as the channel members are listed below.
あらあら、チャンネルをサポートしてくれてありがとうございます。チャンネル登録、高評価お願いします。